Hi, guys. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. Today we are talking about the powerful healing benefits of Reiki. My name is Uma. I am a Reiki master teacher and the owner of the Lotus in the Light Metaphysical Center located in Manassas, Virginia. I have been teaching Reiki and giving Reiki sessions to clients since 2009. So, for those of you that can't do the math, that's about 15 years now. And I have some incredible stories to share. But before I get into the stories, let's talk about what Reiki is. I know some of you are watching live, so I'm going to ask this to those of you that are watching live. Do you know what Reiki is? Have you ever had a Reiki session? Do you practice Reiki? The first thing I want to say is that Reiki is not a religion. It's not a religious path. It is energy healing. Crystal says, no idea. It's energy healing. So the idea of Reiki is that, like when your back feels sore, you go get a massage. If your foot is hurting, you go get a reflexology session. If your grays are coming in, you go see a hairdresser, right? Reiki is addressing the energy within you. So the idea is that we all have energy, and when we don't have enough energy, we're not at our highest level. And we want to be at our highest level because that is how we manifest the life that we want. That is how we create the life that we want. And we know about energy fluctuations because we feel it on a day-to-day basis. When things happen and you have no rhyme or reason why you feel a certain way, it would be energy. So for instance, how many of you have had this situation? A friend calls, they're complaining to you, it's draining, it's toxic, and then after talking to you, they feel better and then you feel drained. Has that ever happened to you guys? That's like an energy drain, right? And what about this? You haven't done anything all day. You just sit in your house and you feel really lethargic, like you can't move, you have no energy, right? An energy drain. Or how about when you get together with somebody and you have such a good time that it's like, oh, wow, I have like all the energy, and you go home and you're so excited, you can't sleep. You're up all night, right? Energy drain. So I say these things because this is the basis of energy work. When you get with an energy healer, we're looking to restore your energy. And there's so many ways that your energy can be drained. From our physical limitations, if you're having physical issues within the body, mental issues, worry, upset, fear, anxiousness, emotional issues, sadness, longing, depression, all of these things drain us, guys. And that's why those of us that are Reiki healers, we not only do Reiki for you guys, but we do Reiki on ourselves as well. We practice self-Reiki every day. And all it is really just taking your hands, turning the Reiki power on within you, and then laying your hands in the hand positions throughout the body to bring healing to yourself. So I have some great stories because, of course, I've been an energy healer for over 15 years, and I teach Reiki. And there's just so many amazing things that I don't think you guys know the power of Reiki and how amazing it can be. So one of the things, now I have to say this because I'm on social media, and with social media, they don't like you to say anything medical related, and I will not. I will have to say that this is my experience. This is what I've been through. That's all I can say. I can't say anything else besides this is my actual experience. This is what I've gone through. I remember one of my earlier Reiki stories was that I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism back in 2017. And they told me it was a lifelong condition. And I would have to be on a pill every day to manage my thyroid. So I think it's like a normal thyroid level is like below 4, right? Hi, Danielle. And I think mine was like at 10. So they were like, oh no, you have a thyroid issue. You have to get, this pill, and you have to be on this pill for the rest of your life. But I'm an energy healer, and I understand that it's a mind, body, spirit connection. So I said, all right, I took the pills. I took it home. I took it for like 3 or 4 days, and I didn't like it. I didn't feel good at all. Hi, Kim. Right? So I put the pills away. I said, I'm not doing this. I had to have a checkup in 6 months because they wanted to give you the pills, and then you be on the pills for 6 months, and then you go back and get your thyroid checked, right? And I'm like, I'm not doing this. So I put the pills away, and I start doing a combination of things. The major thing being Reiki. I was doing Reiki and yoga. I was meditating. I was changing my diet. I was getting more sleep. I was doing all the healthy things. But every day I was doing Reiki on my throat like 3-4 times a day, right? I go back in 6 months later. My thyroid went from a 10 to a 4.2 in 6 months. So the doctor was like, oh, those pills are working. I said, actually, I only took the pills like for a week, and I didn't like it. I didn't like how I felt. So I haven't been taking the pills. So of course I got the lecture. Oh, energy healing is, it's not real, and this and that and whatever. And, you got to take pills and medication, all that. I let the doctor talk. I was like, okay. And she's like, well, we'll see you at your annual checkup. I said, okay. Went away, came back to my annual checkup. They checked my thyroid in 2018, still below 4. They checked it in 2019, it was like at a 2. They checked it in 2020, 2.2. It just stayed below 4. And my doctors don't understand why or how, because, that's not supposed to happen. But that is the nature of energy healing. And we have so many stories. If you go to YouTube, you search some of the popular healers, like Greg Braden has a lot of documented stories on YouTube about his energy healing and what he's done. But your body can heal itself. Do you guys believe that? That your body can heal itself? Your body can heal itself. Your mind can heal itself. Your spirit is what's healing everything. And you have to believe in the mind-body-spirit connection. If you just keep going through life thinking all you are is a body, or your thoughts are you, right? Then you're missing out. You're missing out on a whole life of health and wellness and peace and joy and contentment. You have to understand this world is bigger than what you think it is. You might be feeling safe in your little house, right? But this little house is balancing on a rock that is floating in space. You guys know that, right? So you're sitting here stressing about China. Will D call me back today? Who cares? You're floating on a rock in space. But this is how we stunt ourselves. We focus on stupid stuff, insignificant stuff. Maggie, will it take long for Mike to ask me to be his girlfriend? Gabe, is Harry going to contact me? You didn't come to this life to have this pitiful existence. where you're just focusing on, will they call me? Will I be his girlfriend? Who cares? You're floating on a rock in space. Do you understand that? We're on this planet called the Earth. There's several other planets. We're in a galaxy. At any point in time, we could all be completely wiped out by a comet. I wonder, Maggie, if a comet was heading this way, would you still care for Mike to ask you to be his girlfriend? Hi, Eve. Right? We have to start looking at the bigger picture. And one of the best things I love about Reiki, yes, I've seen miraculous healing with Reiki, but the best thing for me about Reiki is that it gives me that awareness that a lot of things I think are so important are not important at all. I could see some of you, like we could have a complete meltdown of society, and some of you will be like, will Mike call me? You know, we're so cut off from reality. You know, we're so cut off from reality. It's unnerving. And I feel Reiki is a great way for you to get back in touch with reality and what's really real. Katrina, am I some type of a healer? I don't know. Are you? You're supposed to know that. If you don't know who you are or what you are, then you got bigger problems. Because you're supposed to know who you are and what you are. But most of y'all out here running around trying to be somebody's girlfriend, and that person don't even care about you, instead of like looking to your own life and fixing what's wrong with your life. Okay? So I said I was going to come on here and share some Reiki stories and let you guys know how amazing it is. Lynn had it. Congrats, Lynn. I hope you get to actually take a Reiki class and learn it. It's very easy. When you meet with a Reiki teacher, there's 3 levels of classes, level 1, level 2, level 3. In level 1, well, I don't know how other teachers do it, but the way I do it is level 1, I teach you how to heal yourself, because there's a saying, healer, heal thyself. Level 2, how to work with other people, how to heal other people. And then level 3, the master symbol, how to create a Reiki business. And then after some time, if people have been like practicing Reiki and they've done a couple of sessions, when I say couple, I mean like 50. They've spent some years practicing Reiki, giving Reiki sessions, and they actually want to teach, then they can come back to me and take the next level, which is the teaching class, how to teach Reiki. You know? So the healing benefits are profound. I one time had this client call me because they had cancer, and it was a life-threatening cancer, and they were going every day for radiation and chemotherapy every day. That's how bad it was. And they lived in my area where my center is, Manassas, Virginia, but they were a veteran, so they had to go to this veteran hospital that was in Maryland. So they literally, him and his wife, would literally drive there on a Monday, stay there Monday through Friday, come home on the weekends to do laundry, check the mail, be in their house, and then go back on Monday and stay there for the week. And then, that's how they were doing it. I was part of that weekend trip home. His wife would bring him. He was so weak, he could hardly walk. And I arranged several of my Reiki students, and we would put him on the table on a Saturday, and we would channel Reiki to him. And we never charged him because we wanted to help, That man got better. And then he was at this place where there was one night the wife called me really late, and she was upset because they thought they were going to lose him. He stopped eating, he stopped going to the bathroom. They thought they were going to lose him. And she called me and she's like, "Is there anything you can do?" And I said, "Yeah." I set a Reiki grid, which is what I teach in level 3, how to create the Reiki grid. And I put a candle on it and I channeled Reiki the whole night. I channeled Reiki the whole night. I didn't sit there. I set the grid. And as long as that candle was running, the Reiki was going to be sent. I went to bed. I woke up in the morning. As soon as I woke up at 7, I texted her and I said, how is he? And she said, "Uma, you would not believe it. He got up in the middle of the night. He sat up. He asked for something to eat and he had a bowel movement." And she's like, "I wasn't a believer in Reiki until I saw that happen because I knew you were doing the Reiki grid for him." I had another client that was down in Virginia Beach, and she had an autistic son that couldn't really talk and communicate and have social interactions. He was combative. And I channeled Reiki to this kid every day for a week because I wanted to see what would happen. And she said the most incredible things happened. He started talking during the week. He started doing his chores, like cleaning up his bedroom and stuff like that. He started, interacting more with people. It was profound, the changes that happened to him with the help of Reiki. Lynn, you got to finish that story. So those are my stories about Reiki. I have a ton of them, of course, because I've been doing it for 15 years. But I'll tell you this, the best thing for you to know is you should try a session. Now, of course, if you're in Northern Virginia, come see me at my center. I can give you a session. But if you're not in Northern Virginia, there are a ton of Reiki healers everywhere. Wherever you live, I am sure there's a Reiki healer. Just search up Reiki near me. And it's spelled Reiki. Oh, Lynn gave a beautiful story. She said, "My mom was on her deathbed. They read her last rites. A woman came in to offer Reiki, and my mom healed. She's since passed, but at that moment, she healed." And that's the thing, because Reiki is not going to save your life. It doesn't interfere with when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. But if you can be saved, you will be saved. Like my client with the throat cancer. If you cannot, you cannot. I had one time did this session on a man who had brain cancer, and his son hired me, and he was also going through chemotherapy, and it was so bad. It was like the top of his head was fried, so I couldn't even touch his head. And I remember he was so weak he couldn't come to see me, so I had to go to his house and lay hands on him. And I would go there like once a week, lay hands on him, do the Reiki. And the son was agitated because he didn't know if it was going to work. And he was like, "You need to save my dad. You need to save my dad." And I'm like, that's not how Reiki works, right? It's going to give him energy. But if something is too far gone, it's too far gone. You can't save it. And the dad loved the Reiki sessions because he said he had a very hard time sleeping. So the Reiki helped him with sleep, And he did. He slept a lot. And then one day the son came to me, to my center, booked a session because he said he needed Reiki. He was so stressed out. I was like, I get that. And when he walked in, I looked at him and I said, "Your dad passed." And he looked at me and he's like, "How do you know?" He's like, "I wasn't going to tell you. I wanted to see if you could pick it up during the session. But you see, I'm a medium too, in addition to being a Reiki healer. And I said, I see your dad in like a Japanese garden, and he's wearing a long silk kimono, and he has like a long beard. You know, he's bald headed on top and a long beard, and he's just floating in air. And he wants to let you know he's fine. And he said, I needed to hear that. He cried. I comforted him. He said because everything checked out. His dad had a love of like the Asian gardens, always wanted a beard, you know, and he said I needed to hear that he was okay. And I said, he's okay. And in that vision, you know, his dad had thanked me for the Reiki that I had done with him because it did so much more, he said, than you would understand, which led me to understand that Reiki is not only working on your body, your mind, your emotions, but is also making changes in a spiritual way, in ways that I can't understand. So that's my talk for today. I have so many more stories. It's wild, but I wanted to leave you guys with that Reiki is something you should definitely look into. Of course, I teach at my center. I have a Reiki 1 class coming up on Saturday, November 9th, I believe. So yeah, not this Saturday, the following Saturday. So if you're local to Northern Virginia and you want to learn Reiki, anybody could learn Reiki. Anybody can get attuned. You don't have to have like prior knowledge. You learn everything during a Reiki 1 class, what Reiki is, the history of Reiki, how it came about, what it does, you know, how you use it, the understanding of Reiki, all of that you learn in a Reiki 1 class. And my Reiki 1 class is usually 90 minutes, you know, because it's really mostly lecture. And then we end with me giving you the attunement so that you can do Reiki, and then a self-Reiki healing session where I show you how to do healing on yourself. So that's a class that I can offer. But if you are listening to this broadcast and let's say you're in, I don't know, Idaho, California, Georgia, right? And you're like, oh, I want to learn Reiki, but Uma is teaching out of Virginia. That's okay. You can either book me for an online class. I do online Reiki classes as well. Or I can come to you. Usually if people get up, like a group of 10 or more people, I'll come out and teach a Reiki class. So those are the options there. So check it out. Reiki works. Reiki heals. Reiki is an energy healing modality. You should definitely try it out. If you've never had it done, just Google Reiki healer near me. Find somebody, get it done. I do long distance Reiki, but I prefer to have somebody in person first. And then after that, I'll do long distance. Because if you've never had Reiki and you just go to long distance, you're missing out. You really are missing out. To me, the best sessions are in person. It's just a whole deeper level of healing. But then I will do long distance for my clients who usually get Reiki healings from me, you know? All right, that's it for today's Wellness Wednesday broadcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments what you guys think.